Hey everyone, it's now time for my 22nd episode of my Talk series, and this time I'll be discussing the 450 main event from Arlington, Texas. Ryan Dungey becoming the first Suzuki rider to win in Texas. Before it used to be the Texas Stadium. I thought that the race was certainly a good one. It was good for Dungey. He finally got back on track. Dungey's first win since Atlanta. But I think was the big disappointment had to be Ryan Villopoto. He started from 10th and worked his way up to 4th, but he couldn't even get in the top 3. But what I thought the most was Josh Hill possibly getting a win because he was right there with Dungey, but then his sore ribs kind of kicked in, and he ended up finishing, I think he finished in about 6th. But quite honestly, I hope Hill can find a way back up to the podium. Because I really want Josh Hill to win in the big class. I've already seen Dungey win, Villopoto win, sadly James Stewart, and also Davey Millsaps. Good for Millsaps though, he won San Diego. But honestly, I'm hoping that Hill comes through with the win before the season's done. But I think the biggest guy to have a disappointment is Ryan Villopoto, because he started from 10th and worked his way up to 4th, but just from watching that race, I spotted a weakness in Ryan Villopoto. He has a hard time moving up to the front if he gets a bad start. Because my dad even mentioned it earlier, that Villopoto is not the best passer. He's not like McGrath, who, say he got a bad, like a 10th place start, he could work his way up to, he could probably work his way up to the top 3 by the time the halfway point comes around. But of course, it seems like every time Jeremy crashed in the first turn, he winds up finishing 3rd or 4th. He never comes back to get a win. Jeremy not out there anymore, but honestly, with Villopoto finishing 4th and Dungey picking up 7 points on him, Villopoto still has a shot at the title, but I think if he wants a real shot, Dungey would have to blow it. Because Villopoto's blown it once before. That was at Dallas, and not Dallas, but Atlanta, when he had that dirt stuck in his tailpipe, which is very unusual. But I think if Ryan's going to get back in the hunt, he needs to keep winning, and tonight it didn't happen. So I sure hope that Ryan will have a stroke of luck and we'll have a good points battle. Because right now it looks like Dungey's going to do what McGrath did in 1993, winning his first title in his rookie season. Of course, a lot of the top guys are gone, but that's good for Dungey. I really hope he gets it. But I gotta say, outside of the main event action, Kevin Windham probably had a disappointing night too. He crashed twice in his qualifying heat, had to go to the LCQ. He won that one easily. But he went off the course in the first turn, and he wound up finishing 11th. But we'll have to see if another different winner will pop up. It has to, eventually. But I think the big question is, when will Reed and Stewart come back? I sure hope that they come back soon. I've been waiting and waiting for Reed to make his return. Not so much James Stewart. But quite honestly, I hope during this time off that they have after Jacksonville that Villopoto will work on passing everybody. But unfortunately, you can't really work on that during the week. All I can do is just test and maybe get ready for outdoors. And just kind of discuss it with everybody at Kawasaki. Hopefully Reed comes back soon. But honestly, I really hope that somebody else will step up and win. Preferably Josh Hill. He definitely has what it takes, but little things have been holding him back. And I also, when I saw the interview, Dungey's interview, I thought it was great that he gave that amateur guy, Jesse Masterpool, a shout out, because as we all know, Jesse Masterpool passed away yesterday morning on Saturday, the 20th, after sustaining some pretty bad injuries and having to be put in a coma. So my thoughts and prayers are out. My best wishes are out to the Masterpool family too. And that's too bad, because that's another guy that I will never be able to see. That's the second guy I'm never going to be able to see how good he is. The first one being Ricky James. Back when he got paralyzed. It's a brutal sport. I think it'll definitely force the gear manufacturers to take a second look, because it seems like that with all the injuries going around lately, Reed with a broken hand, James Stewart with his wrist, Josh Grant with his nose and his shoulder, and now Andrew Short with a broken leg, I think it'll definitely force the gear manufacturers to take a second look. It was like back in 2001 when we had all those concussion victims like Pastrana, Hughes, Tortelli. All those guys, they had concussions. I don't know if the gear manufacturers will take that second look, but it never hurts to. I guess we'll find out when we move on. Well, that'll do it for my Talkz series, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye-bye.